Get these guys a job! Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 amazing fan-made video games.
Hey, Mr. Freeman. I had a bunch of messages for you.
For more gaming videos, check out our new spin-off channel, Mojo Plays, for in-depth reviews, thoughtful video essays, detailed character origins, and insightful commentary. Mojo Plays, games smarter. For this list, we're looking at some of the best fan-made video games to have ever been released, even some of them that aren't even available anymore. Number 10, Sonic, after the sequel. Before we saw Sonic's triumphant return to the 2D platformer with Sonic Mania, most of us were looking up to one developer, Felipe Lake Feppert Daniluz. For those of us who had been clamoring for the Hedgehog's old days, Daniluz delivered Sonic after the sequel, which played exactly like the classic Sonic games made from the 90s, except maybe better, boasting new levels, new music, and new mechanics. After the sequel has been regarded as the best Sonic game from this creator, when compared of course to his other two titles, Before the Sequel and Chrono Adventure. Number 9, The Room video game. Of all the things to come out of Tommy Wiseau's The Room, we never expected someone to successfully adapt the greatest worst movie ever made into a video game. As you might expect, the entire game is just as hilariously awful as the film. In this RPG adventure game, players take control of Johnny and are given mundane quests to progress the story. Couldn't tell from the footage, though every character is given the most unflattering depictions possible. Nevertheless, it is a perfect translation of everything wrong with The Room, from the retro-style theme song to the spoons to the awkward moments with Denny. Number 8, Five Nights at Candy's. With the Five Nights at Freddy's games seeing success after success, it comes as no surprise that dozens upon dozens of fan-made games would spawn too. While the joy of creation has taken the franchise to a more existential approach, Five Nights at Candy's plays almost as if it's a spin-off series. Not only is it just as terrifying, but it also adds to the FNAF lore while telling its own unique stories. One of the coolest things about Five Nights at Candy's is that Scott Cawthon, the creator of FNAF, has even given the developers props. Oh, that's nice of him. Number 7, Black Mesa.
Freeman actually did show up for work this morning. Looks like somebody here owes me lunch.
Can you believe that Half-Life was released 2 decades ago? Can you also believe that Valve hasn't done any updates to the game to make it look a little bit more modern? Well, neither can we. Thankfully, a development team known as Crowbar Collective spent 8 years working on a remake, and hey, it looks pretty damn good. The remake received such a wide amount of praise that it even caught Valve's attention. And instead of filing a DMCA or a cease and desist notice, Valve allowed Crowbar Collective to sell Black Mesa on Steam. Whoa, did not see that coming.
Gordon! Thank God for that hazard suit.
Number 6, Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. It's not uncommon to see fan games incorporate some type of crossover. Hey, it's fun to imagine that our favorite characters coexist in the same universe after all. Plus, it's just nostalgia overload to see how different characters would interact with each other. Mushroom Kingdom Fusion builds upon that classic fan dream, allowing you to select an assortment of popular video game characters to take on different platforming levels. Alongside Mario, Luigi, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Samus, there's Mega Man, Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series, and Arthur from Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This fan game was truly made for passionate lovers of retro platformers. Number 5, GoldenEye Source. While this is arguably more of a mod than a full-blown game, we believe that GoldenEye Source still deserves a spot on this list for various reasons. For starters, this isn't just a recreation of GoldenEye's multiplayer mode. The game also features new maps and modes that make GoldenEye even more addictive to play. Secondly, tweaks have been made to the gameplay that makes the action more suspenseful, such as a mini-map that gives a general idea of the player position. You've also got to admire the craft that's gone into recreating some of the levels from the N64 classic. You can tell that this was made by fans, for the fans. Number 4, DRL. There's some really good Doom fans out there, but none of them have struck a chord with us the same way as this one. The last thing we'd ever expect the Doom franchise to have would be a turn-based roguelike strategy game, but damn if it doesn't work. It maintains the classic fast-paced gameplay the franchise is known for while incorporating different elements, such as unique character traits for your Doom Marine that might affect the way you play. While ZeniMax did file a cease and desist against the developer, it was only for using the Doom name in its original title, Doom RL. Well, I guess DRL works just fine anyways. Number 3, Hyper Dragon Ball Z.
Please give me some of your energy!
We can always use more games with stunning sprite work, so how about one based on the Dragon Ball franchise? Well, we're just gonna go ahead and download it. While Hyper Dragon Ball Z doesn't do anything incredibly unique with itself, it doesn't actually need to. Sometimes all you need is a simple 2D fighting game with beautiful animation and very responsive controls to grab gamers' attention. There aren't too many fan games out there that are this addictive to play, especially when you're experimenting with combos or, just beating the snot out of some dude. Nice job, Hyper Team Z2. You've made a game that any DBZ fan would love. Number 2, Pokemon Uranium. The Pokemon games are great, but if you're looking for a Pokemon game with a new coat of paint, Pokemon Uranium has probably got you covered. However, it's not as lighthearted as the official titles. Your mother perishes from a nuclear explosion, leaving your father to become neglectful and your aunt to take you in. It's, a dark narrative, but it works surprisingly well. With a new story and a new generation of Pokemon, who wouldn't love this game? Well, not Nintendo of course, because they filed DMCA takedowns. Then the game was mysteriously pulled from its Best Fan Creation nomination at the Game Awards. Mysterious indeed. Number 1, AM2R, Return of Samus. Most fans were not too happy with Nintendo around the year 2016. This year marked the 30th anniversary of the Metroid franchise, and it went with very little fanfare from Nintendo. Luckily, developer Milton, Dr. M64 Guasti, had been working on a complete remake of Metroid 2 for the past decade. AM2R, or another Metroid 2 release, had featured updated sprite art, fluid animations, and it ran at 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, the game was only publicly available for about a month before Nintendo filed DMCA takedowns against Guasti and any sites with the download link. Well, at least he got that Game Awards nomination for the Best Fan Creation. Oh wait, that was mysteriously retracted too. Man, the mystery continues, eh? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.